Hello, it's Grace with Uniquely Grace, and today I'm going to show you how I am doing this watercolor background effect directly on the raw wood of this table. So I'm going to show you really quick some of this effect. Here's some of it here. It looks very watery like. This is an octopus table. Again, there's different colors in it. You can do multiple colors, 2 or 3. This particular one I chose only to do 2 because I didn't want it too busy and distracting from the actual octopus when it's painted. So I wanted to keep it a little simple. What I'm going to do first is I've sanded this down completely, all the finishes off of it, and it is nice and smooth. I sanded it with 80 grit sandpaper to take off the finish, and then I sanded it with 120, and then again with 220 to get it nice and smooth. So this is like baby's bottom smooth, okay? This right here, this black line is black chalk paint mixed with a black Revax. It's our licorice, Shabby Paints licorice chalk paint mixed 3 parts chalk paint, 2 parts black Revax, which is our black top coat sealer, which can be used as a glaze. And it's created almost a 3D line. I've applied this in a particular manner that has allowed me to draw the line with it, and it has created this edge. So what it does is I've sealed in the sections that I'm going to paint, so that allows the water and the fluids to stay in that inside, basically inside the lines. You do sometimes, depending on how much liquid you use, you can get some overflow, or also there's a point where you can blow on this, and sometimes you can blow it outside the lines. So right now I'm just applying water, and I'm making sure that the surface I'm going to be working on is completely wet, and it's okay if it gets slightly outside. And look how wet it is. Like there's little puddles almost of water on the surface. So I got it nice and wet, and what we're going to do is I've taken some chalk paint in the So Serene color, and I'm going to be dripping it onto the surface. This is mixed with rubbing alcohol, like 1 part chalk paint to maybe 5 parts or 6 parts of rubbing alcohol. Just thin it out accordingly to how to your desire, really, but you want more rubbing alcohol because you want it to dry fast, and at the same time you want it to react with the water as well. And then this is marine blue, and this was an almost empty container, like seriously almost completely empty Shabby Paint marine blue chalk paint, and I just put literally it was like scraping the bottom empty, so I just put the rubbing alcohol right on inside there, and so you can see how fluidy it is. It's very, very fluid. So I'm going to take the top off of that, and now that I've got water on the surface, it's just really easy to do. I'm going to start off with the So Serene. Always work light to dark, and I know this is very risky, but I tend to sometimes pour bigger spots, especially in a larger area, or if I spill it out with the thing. I also like smaller ones too, and I just kind of want to put it, everywhere. I always have my my wipes handy, also baby wipes, because if you do get it outside the line, it's really easy to clean up if you get it right away. And if you want to later on, you can rub harder and get it cleaned up. Now you don't need it everywhere. This is my baby wipes. So you don't need it everywhere. You just, you want some of the wood grain to show through. So I'm going to take a very small artist brush, and I'm going to add drops of the marine blue in there, and they'll start reacting with one another. They're reacting because of the water, as well as the rubbing alcohol contents are different, I believe. I mean, I kind of eyeballed this one, so I don't think it's exactly the same. Okay, so let's see here. I think that's pretty good. Now it still looks quite blotchy and almost like possibly the surface area of an octopus, not the water and the beautiful, motion of the water that we see elsewhere. So this is the part that's kind of messy and can kind of be a little harder to control. So you want to be careful with it. But if you can notice, the edge of the black Revax and black chalk paint is holding this liquid into this area very well. Now these are all tentacles on the outside, so I'm going to get my wipey handy so I'm ready to wipe up and just in case I blow outside the line. And I'm going to just gently blow, and you can see the colors moving around. Oops, and I got a little bit outside the line right here, which is fine. Just go in and wipe it up. Come in from the other angle. And that's where you get your watercolor effect. See the marbleizing that's happening? I want to show you how to clean this up a little bit more. So, I purposely kind of blew that area out. Literally, while it's still wet, you can just go in and you can just wipe it right away. And it will clean right on up. How easy is that? Then all you have to do is wait for it to dry. And that's that. So look at that beautiful marbleizing. And if it seems like there's too much in one area, you can kind of move it around a little bit if you want to with your finger. And you can also, with the same wet cloth or the same wipey you've been using, kind of dab it up and it'll all settle. So like these little bubbles, they'll pop. It'll settle down a little bit and then it will dry. So what you'll get is watercolor effects like this one, or some of these over here. And it's as easy as that. All you got to do is a little rubbing alcohol, a little bit of water, some great colored acrylic chalk paints. Let me clear that up. Shabby Paints is an acrylic based chalk paint. It does not, I don't know how this will work with latex. You would have to test it. So don't, if you have DIY chalk paint and you use latex, or some of the other chalk paint brands are not acrylic either. So it'll dry. You want to make sure you check your ingredients lists in your MSDS sheets, sorry. So this right here, this is all drying. This is all completely dry. So what's beautiful about that is it does lighten up. Now when I go to put the sealer on it, it will probably darken back up to something similar to this. Okay, so right now, and see I've got it really blotchy over here, but I think that's okay. It almost looks like bubbles. So, all right, that's Grace with uniquelygrace.com, Shabby Paints Stylist. Have a great day.